Hey guys, it's Steve. I have an awesome new equipment review for you today. We're going to be taking a look at the new Maverick ET733 wireless barbecue and meat thermometer. So I have the Maverick ET732 and I've been using it for about a year and a half now. It's one of my favorite barbecue gadgets. This is quite an upgrade, so let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Maverick ET733. So this is what it looks like in the packaging. This shows a white unit, but I actually got it in black. So let's go ahead and pop this open and see what we got. Alright, so just got the instruction manual here. And then here's the base station. Alright. And this is a little piece that snaps onto the back so it can sit down on it just like the 732. And then here is the receiver. Alright. And then also here are our two probes. So we'll slip those out, and these are actually hybrid probes, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. Okay, so for the batteries on the base station here, you've just got a couple little, these are AAA batteries, and then you've just got a couple little teeny tiny screws right here and here, so you can see those right there. So you just screw those back in, and then we just pop this little piece on the back. And then as far as the receiver, this little flap that the receiver sits on like this, that just pops up, and then you put two AAAs in there like that, and it just pops on just like that. Okay, so we've got our batteries and our base station here, and again, this little side piece here, it just snaps on just like that, and there you go. So it just sits like that. Okay, on both the receiver and the base station, it comes shipped with this little sticky kind of cover here just to show you the different settings here. And so you just take this and peel it off just like that. And then the same on this guy right here, just peel that off just like that. Okay, so a quick comparison between the previous model, the Maverick 732, and this new 733 unit. As you can see over here on the left, the base stations are almost identical in size and look identical, with the little piece back here that they sit on, so you can kind of see the same thing. And then also on the receivers over here, this is where the biggest difference is. So you can see a much larger form factor on the 733 receiver, and you've got a lot more screen real estate here. You've got more buttons, and we're going to take a look at what all that does. One of the biggest differences between the two units is that on the 732 model, you have a food probe on this side and then a barbecue probe over here on this side. So you basically can monitor your cooker temp and then one piece of meat temp. What they've done with this new 733 is that both of the probes that come with it are hybrid probes, and basically what that means is these probes can be used as either meat probes, or they both have a little pit clip where they can work as pit probes as well. So the really cool thing about this new setup is that this new 733 has various setups. It can run as a monitor for two cookers, or two pieces of meat, or one cooker and one piece of meat. So you've got a lot more flexibility here on this new 733. Okay, so I've turned both the base station and the receiver on, and they'll go ahead and sync up. Occasionally, if they don't sync right away, your base station has a resync button right here, and you just push that and it'll sync right back up. And one of the things I wanted to go ahead and show you is the other great thing. You can see how much larger the screen is here on the 733, but when you push this mode button right here, it also has a nice little backlit screen for when you're doing some cooks at nighttime. Okay, so let me go ahead and walk you through the controls on our receiver here. Okay, so what you're seeing here is you have a number 1 up here and a number 2 down here. So again, you can decide whether or not you want to monitor 2 cookers, 2 pieces of meat, or 1 cooker and 1 piece of meat. And the way you control what number 1 and number 2 are set to is you just, down here in the lower right hand corner, you've got a set button. You just hold that down, and so it's flashing number 1, and you can press up or down to switch to number 1 or 2. Okay, so right now number 1's on barbecue or your cooker, and if that's what you want, you just hit set. So it's flashing barbecue. So if you want number 1 to be food, then you hit mode and see how it switched to food. And so you do the same thing with number 2. So if you're good with food, then you just hit set, and then it starts giving you options for different meat presets. So we're on beef right now, and you can hit the meat button and cycle through the, so we had beef, veal, lamb, pork, chicken, turkey, and deer, elk, moose, buffalo, rabbit, boar, duck, bird, fish, and we're back to beef. Now, when beef is flashing, if you don't want to go with the preset, which is 160, you can just hit up or down, like if you're doing a brisket. So I'm just going to hold up and come all the way up to 195, which is where I like to cook my brisket. Okay, and once you're where you want to be, you hit set. Alright, and you're all done. So now that I just set number 1 to the food, what I want to do is set number 2 to my cooker. So I'm going to hold down set again. Okay, so number 1's flashing, but if I hit down, it's switching to number 2. So I hit set, and notice how food is flashing. So I want to hit mode again, just like we did on number 1. So I just changed it over to barbecue. So I hit set. Now it's going to let me set my high temp and my low temp. The high is sitting at default at 250. So let's say I want to cook at 250 and I run this up to 275. Let's say we get a heat spike and we don't want to go past 275. Alright, hit set. And now let's say we don't want our cooker to go below 200. That's pretty typical there. And we'll just go ahead and hit set, and we're all done. So we just dialed in our number 1 for our food and then number 2 for our cooker, and we're good to go. So I'll pick back up. I'm going to throw a small little brisket on the cooker here, and I'll pick back up in a few minutes and show it in action. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and put this new ET733 to use. I've got a incredibly tiny little flat brisket here. It's only about a 2.2 pound. Just want a little small light meal. So I've got this other probe here, and we're just going to slip this right in the middle, just like that. And then we've got our other probe that's acting as a pit probe back here on the back. Alright guys, so I've got probe number 1 in the brisket, so we see that up here. Let me hit the mode button so that backlight comes on. You can see that nice backlit orange screen there. That's going to look really good when it's dark outside. So I've got it set to 195. So right now, since I just put that probe in, it's 52, and then probe number 2 is set to my grill dome Kamado here. So I've got it set to a high of 300 and a low of 200, and we're riding right at 246, right where I want to be, because my target temp is 250. So This is an excellent new temperature monitoring device by Maverick, so definitely check these guys out. I'll have a link in the description, and I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you again soon.